In case y'all didn't know it already, racism is America's default setting. And it's proven every time white America works so hard against things that would only make it better for them and everybody else. What we are seeing happening in Georgia right now only reflects how white America has historically and even to this day worked so hard against its own best interests simply because anything that could have helped them was connected to somebody black. The way y'all will vote against your own best interests, work so hard to dismantle things that would only have spared you the grief that is your healthcare system right now is very telling. Because the fact that Obamacare was called Obamacare was no accident. It was just better healthcare for you and everybody else, which could have spared y'all a lot of the grief that you're going through right now in Georgia, but all over the country as well. Because your need to hate us causes you to screw yourselves over. Look at critical race theory, which is nothing more than accurate American history, no longer being edited, redacted, and whitewashed by the colonizer. The majority of you people arguing against it know nothing about the concept. You don't understand how it would be implemented in a K through 12 lesson plan in any way. None of you read the books that you want banned, but because Tucker Carlson and your Facebook bigoted groups have told you that this is bad and it's connected to black people, you're running for the hills and doing everything that you can to pretend to cry in front of a school board meeting to stop it from happening. America is so racist that the racism of the racist isn't even seen as racist because it's so natural to be this way towards other people that it's not even seen as racism. Racism has to be so violent and extreme to y'all for y'all to even acknowledge it half the time. And even then, you want to see the whole video first. America is so racist that you enjoy the carnage of the racism. Even when you're disgusted by it and shocked and appalled, you watch the whole thing and then rewind and play it again. America never conquered a single savage. It was colonized by savages. We honor dead enslavers. Y'all sit there, break bread, and have a nice meal to celebrate coming to this country and brutalizing and taking the lives of thousand upon thousand of indigenous people. And then, mind you, y'all do the same thing with lynchings, having picnics. What is it with y'all trying to have a nice meal while people are losing their lives? And then celebrating it after the fact. Like, what's wrong with y'all? What used to be considered minstrelsy is now y'all's version of appropriation. Appreciation. Instead of gathering up the good old boys, getting in the pickup truck, and taking out a whole town of black people, now you just call it gentrification. In case y'all didn't know it already, racism is America's default setting.
Yeah. Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, all praises and all honor and all glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakal Kodash, double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who were well, salutations to the Akim in the four winds, preaching the truth and sincerity, risking their lives more now than ever, the hopeful elect, Shalom, to the Israelite foreigners who phenotype may look like another nation, but bloodline goes back to Israel and have come back to the fold, Shalom to you sisters, you Akwathium, who listen and learn under your husband, which is your spiritual leader. Right? This your brother Ram Yahweh with the lesson. It says, son of man, set thy face against Mount Seir, right? That's you self-proclaimed so-called white man. And prophesied against it, right? And prophesied is to say before, right? What's going to happen to you before it even happens. And say unto it, thus saith Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, O Mount Seir, right? Which goes back to Edom, Esau, right? Which his descendants are Edom, right? This goes to you Esau Edomites, right? Right? I am against thee, and I will stretch out my hand against thee, right? Because the Lord said prophesied against you what's going to happen before it happens. And I will make thee most desolate, right? Dealing with America, 200 million missiles are going to hit America. And then the Lord said that he's going to draw all these nations to the valley of Yahweh Shaphat. And he's going to shoot laser beams from the chariot and wipe out all these militaries from around the world, right? And the Lord's going to take all your thrones, man. He's going to take all the crowns from all you clowns, right? And the Lord's finna rule, man. what the Most High said, he promised his son that he would have dominion over this entire world and over this whole entire universe, right? Because what did Dave Chappelle say? That they make you sign a contract that says that you can't use your image in all perpetuity and all sorts of things throughout the universe. Well, you can't travel further than Earth, especially being a so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian, which are the Israelites. You can't travel further than Earth. Why would you be writing down things, the universe? But see, the whole thing about that is the king of the universe is finna come and snatch the throne from you, man. You're no longer, you're unfit to rule anymore. You're an unjust steward, man. You're unfit to rule, man. So it says, where was I at? And just stretch out my hand against thee, and I will make thee most desolate, and I will lay thy cities waste. Thus shall be desolate, and thus shall know that I am Yahweh, man. You're gonna know that there's a power that's greater than you. That there is a God that lives, man, the living God. That, as the scriptures say, our ancestors used to say, "As the Lord liveth," right? As the Lord liveth, man. The Lord lives, man. We have a true power, man. Because thus has had a perpetual hatred, right? And that's ultimately what this sister is saying. Your hatred is so bad, you shoot yourself in the foot, right? Because all the things that could be great for America, because if you really made everything equal, right, this would be a pretty good place. If you didn't try to just keep us down in the ghettos, the barrios, and the reservations, look how great this place is after you still stole all the inventions that so-called Black people have created, right? Which are really the Israelites, right? Because we're the salt of the earth, man, right? We have created all things come from the Israelites, man. And that's a telltale sign who the Israelites is too, right? So it can't be you small hats, but it says, and has shed the blood, right? You've been going around the world murdering, but the main thing you did is what? The transatlantic slave trade, right? And before that, you did the transatlantic slave trade in the 1500s and stuff, which would be the Northern Kingdom, right? And then until the 1600s, you got the Southern Kingdom, right? You have traded the children of Judah and the children of Israel, right? The Lord's treasure unto the Grecians, right? Right? Joel 3, roughly paraphrasing, says, you shedded the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword, right? Right? Getting back into that transatlantic slave trade, right? Christopher Columbus, right? Which is or was a so-called Jewish, right? So we know that you have been part of the slave from the beginning, man. So your things is phony, and your lies is falling upon yourself, man. Right? So you can't be the people, right? And then you want to cry about some type of atrocities, and you're the main corporate behind the greatest atrocity that's ever happened known to man, right? But those people that you were the sons or bun of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, and in the time that their iniquity had by the force of the sword, and the time of their calamity, and in the time that their iniquity had an end, man, because our iniquity had an end. We served our so-called whatever slavery in the time, but instead you did the Emancipation Proclamation, which basically means we went from what's it called? Single ownership to corporate ownership, right? But and within that, you basically you had to cripple yourself, right? You had to even make your own white people poor to make this look like you know what I mean, to basically set the stage, because this is all make believe, right? You're the ones ruling. You're the puppet masters. You say who can get rich and who can't, and that's why you use your media, right? You use your red media to decide who can have this and who can have that, right? This is Ezekiel 35 and 10. So I just went down a couple little verses and says, because thus has said, these two nations and these two countries shall be mine, and I will possess it, whereas Yahweh was there, right? So due to the curses and us disobeying the Lord said that He had given us into your hand, right? So your thing was to possess these two nations and these two countries, which is dealing with the southern kingdom and the northern kingdom, right? And then you did, right, by the way of the transatlantic slave trade, which basically through free labor and never having to pay for land that you came and just took by murder, right, and enslavement and in rape, right, all the things that you like I said, you transform yourself into an angel of light after you've done the worst atrocities of rape, rob, and murder. Now you could because you're the one who in rulership. You're the unjust steward, when there's plenty of these other guys that's walking around that everybody knows that they were part of Pizzagate and they know that they were part of these different things. You give R. Kelly 30 years, right? But Brett Favre or what's his name, Tom Brady, right? No jail time at all, right? Because these are your great white hope. Right? These are your so-called Edomite, self-proclaimed so-called white hope. These are your Edomite heroes or whatever, right? Your legends. It says, wherefore as I live. Oh, okay, there you go. Like I was saying, the Lord, we have a living power. Therefore, as I live, and this is the Most High speaking, as I live, saith Yahweh, power, Bashem Yahweh Shai, I will even do according to thy anger, right? So you have that perpetual hatred, like the brothers were saying. This is how the young men say it today. Hey, keep that same energy when it's returned to you. The Lord said, I will return your recompense upon your own head for taking the children of Judah and the children of Israel, man. Right? And according to thy envy, right? Because you're just envious that the Lord gave us the blessing and the Lord didn't give you the blessing, right? You're envious, which thus has used out of thy hatred, right? Just like the sister was saying, you hate us so much that even if things would make America, right? Because you probably could make America great again, but you're not going to do that on behalf that we can actually get out of the ghettos, the barrios, the reservations, that we can actually be in high positions, right? Because you'll probably lose this country like you did Rome, right? When all of a sudden there were all sorts of Israelite Caesars, right? And then you basically never came in power again, and that's ultimately what you're afraid of. You're trying to keep the power, right? But which you ain't understanding. A lot of these jakes love you more than they love the Most High. They love you more than they love their own mama, man. These jakes will do anything to please you. So you could have probably still kept the power and all this other stuff. But hey, you're unjust in the way you do things. So I will make. Oh, it's like use out of thy hatred against them, right? Against it's like according to thy envy, which thus has used out of thy hatred against them, and I will make myself known among them, and when I have judged thee, right? Now ultimately your judgment is coming anyway. But yeah, you shoot yourself in the foot, but that's ultimately going to be your judgment, man, because that was the vision that Nebuchadnezzar had, and the feet that had partly iron, partly clay. That's where that great millstone is going to hit that foot, and it's going to knock away all those empires, right? the rulerships, because it's going to be the end of this thing, and then the Lord is going to rule forever and ever and ever, man. It's going to be an everlasting kingdom, right? Right. So this is Psalms 137 and 7. Oh, remember, O Yahweh, Bashem Yahweh Shai, Bashem Rakal Kadash, the children of Edom, right? Because these are Esau's children. These are his descendants, the nation of Edom, right? Right? And there's 5 tribes of Edom. And in the day of Jerusalem, right? Right, when we were getting taken down by ancient Babylon at that time, who said race it, which means what? Waste, basically destroy us completely. They wanted us to be no longer to be alive at all. They wanted us to be all wiped out altogether, to that none of us exist ever again, right? So that's hatred, right? But even that will be to your detriment, because when you go back to Amalekite, if this doesn't happen, the Lord is going to smite the earth with a curse anyway, right? So it says, yes, they want to race it even to the foundations thereof. They want us to be completely annihilated, taken out. That's how much the self-proclaimed so-called white man hate us, man. But back then he was just known as Edom. The red guy, Idawam, Edom, right? Idumea, right? And this goes into, now this is going to the modern day Edomite, which is spiritually Babylon. So it says, "O daughter of Babylon," because you're spiritual Babylon, which is America, who are to be destroyed, right? America is about to be destroyed by ICBM missiles, man. And that's most definitely. Happy shall he be that rewardeth thee, right? See, this recompense, all that hatred that you had for us, the Lord said it's gonna be according to your anger, according to your envy that you had against us. The Lord's gonna give us that same type of anger and that type of envy to put it upon you. But instead, it's gonna be righteous anger, and it's gonna be righteous envy, right? Not wicked. Right? Because that's like what Kanye was saying. He said he envy, or he's jealous, right? Which is another way of saying jealous is envy. But it wasn't in wickedness. He didn't say he wanted to race it. He didn't want you to be completely destroyed. He just said he just want his family and his people and his cousins, his brothers, the people who look like him to not have to go through that, man. Right? That's all he wanted. He didn't say he wanted anything bad happen to you. And that's the difference between you and us. But in that day, hey, happy is he, where happy shall he be that rewardeth thee. And then we're going to reward you. It's said by the force of the sword. So we're going to reward you with the force of the sword. Reward thee as thus has served us, right? We're going to put you into slavery, man. Hardcore bondage, that's coming. Happy shall he be that taketh and dasheth thy little ones against the stones, man. You took our children and put them into alligator pits alive to be eaten by alligators in order to capture an alligator or whatever it is, alligator, crocodile, whatever it is, right? We're going to return that favor to you. And then the Lord said unto you double. So, hey, it's going to get bad for you, Esau. But your hatred only shoots yourself in the foot. You hate us so much that you're going down. And this is thus saith Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. We have no power. But when the Lord giveth to us, there ain't nothing no one could say anyway. Ain't nothing you could do. If the Lord be for us, who could be against us? Period. Yeah, right. So this is Jeremiah chapter 31 and 35. Thus saith Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, which giveth the sun for light by day, and the ordinance of the moon and the stars for a light by night, which divideth the sea when the waves thereof roar. Yahweh of hosts, Bashem Yahweh Shai, which means of armies, Yahweh of armies, right? Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai is his name. If those ordinance, right? This the part where Esau hate us. This proves how much Esau hate us. If those ordinance be for me, if those ordinance depart before me, saith Yahweh, Bashem Yahweh Shai, then the seed of Israel also shall cease from being a nation before me forever. Right? And what did you have all these Bill Gates and even some of these people from NASA and all these different Edomite dignitaries say that they wanted to do? They wanted to blow the sun up. Then a couple times they said they wanted to blow up the moon. They wanted to do all these different things. They said they wanted to blow up the sun because of global warming. All these different crazy things, right? But not only would that mess them up, because the sun is for a purpose. The moon has a purpose, just like it was saying for the waves, right? The sea, when the waves thereof roar, right? It tells you that the moon, and even with their own science, right? They know that the moon has something to do with when the tides rises, and when the tides kind of lower down. They know that has something to do with the way the planet runs. So not only would it destroy the children of Israel, but it will destroy everybody, even themselves. So even with that, they want to. They hate us that much. They're willing to shoot themselves in the foot. So this sister don't even know the half of how much they really hate us, right? Thus saith Yahweh, Bashem Yahweh Shai. I said Bashem Yahweh Shai because that's his son, and the Lord's going to send forth his son. He's not coming off the throne. He's sending his son to make judgment. He will judge the quick and the dead, man. And that's through Yahweh Shai, man. But he's coming with the power of his father, man. The glory, right? That the father is given to his son to implement judgment throughout the world as the ruler, as being God, basically. Yahweh Shai is coming back as God, as a God, not the Father, but he's gonna be, man, no joke, man. He's gonna, yeah, like you said, I'm not gonna meet you as a man, right? Wow, whew, man. Thus saith Yahweh, Bashem Yahweh Shai, if heaven above can be measured, right? So that's why they trying to fly all these different spaceships and whatever into heaven. They're trying to create these things. They're trying to measure it. They can't measure heaven, right? They can't go beyond the Van Allen belt, so they can't measure heaven, right? And the foundations of earth, right? Because you can't go down to the depths of the sea, which they've been trying to do. That's why they've been blowing, letting off nuclear missiles in the ocean and all this other type of stuff, hoping they can probably feel the vibration, use a vibrational thing of, I can't remember the name, but it's a vibrational wave. So you blow it up, and by the vibration, it should be able to tell you the depth of the sea. That's what they were thinking they can use. But guess what? It didn't work. Because by blowing it up, you just changed a lot of the dynamics. But okay, Yeah, so you can't measure the bottom of the ocean. But this is how much he hates us, man. He's shooting nuclear missiles in the ocean. We need the ocean. We need the sun. We need the moon. But he's willing to do that in order to get us out from being a nation before Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. He's the accuser of the brethren, right? He says, yeah, the foundations of the earth searched out beneath. I will also cast off the seed of Israel from all that they have done, saith Yahweh, right? So, hey, you know what? I'm going to get done. Man, go down and measure this. If you could do this, I'll get rid of them. But it's impossible. But this is how much they hate us, that they're willing to do it. But those things will actually destroy the entire planet to do that, especially the way they're trying to do it, right? Yeah, so this is Malachi chapter 4, verse 4. Remember ye the law of Moses. See, and instead of wiping out the Israelites and doing away with the Israelites forever, because they can't measure it, the Lord is going to remember the laws of Moses forever, right? The laws of Moses, my servant, which I commanded unto him in Horeb for all Israel, right? Hey, back to that, for all Israel, right? Right, because you know that the Lord is going to remember us with the statutes and judgments. Behold, I will send you Elijah the prophet before the coming of the great and dreadful day, which is the day that the Lord is coming to judge all you nations, man. In the valley of Yahweh Shaphat, he's going to gather up all you nations to get there, man, to judge you right there, man. And the mountain of troops, and it's going to be a bunch of troops that's going to be desolated, man. Going to get shot by piercing laser beams from the chariots, man. Right? Nothing but dust and smell of smoke is going up from you. Behold, oh Salakia, and I will turn the hearts of the fathers to the children, and the hearts of the children to their father, lest, wait, this is the part I'm talking about. Because if we don't come back, and ultimately that's what this whole bioeconomy CHIP is about. Because he's hoping that if he does that, it'll block us off from our power, and then it will be no reason for the Lord to come back, supposedly, right? This is in his mind. But he hates us so much and shoots himself in the foot for hating us so much. This what will happen if he did that. If that was possible. That's why the Lord said it's not possible. If it were possible, they would deceive the very elect. But it's not possible. It's not possible to see the very elect. But if it were possible, let's read what would happen if it was possible. It says, in the hearts of the children to the fathers, lest I come and smite, right? Which means destroy, kill the earth with the curse. So if we don't come back and the Lord don't remember us, the Lord's coming to smite the earth with a curse anyway. You know what I mean? But this is how much the sister don't know how much they hate us and how much they'll shoot themselves in the foot because they hate us. Which if they didn't hate us so much, or if they at least so-called played nice, I don't know how to say it, but I guess that's the only way to say it. If they played nice, or at least, I don't know, did some type of something, this place could be a very decent place. This place could probably be like Wakanda, you know, with flying vehicles and this and that, and there'll be no homeless people. It'll be all these different advanced technology. Because if you didn't hate us so much, China would not be ahead of us as far as education. None of these other countries would be ahead of us as far as education or inventions or anything. But they hate us so much that they pushed all the jobs away, all the factory jobs that were paying good money. They pushed them away. And them niggas living too good. Yeah, let's push the factories away. Let's put them over here. Like even the dude that Michael Moore, he had that interview with the guy from Nike. He said, "Well, how was your sales before you left here?" Oh, they were up. Before I left, it was great, the greatest sales I ever had before I left. He said, so why did you leave? Oh, well, because really it had to do with the elite, right? They don't want you so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native Indians to be up on something, and not to mention they figure this place is finna go anyway because they know they're wise as Daniel. They know this place is finna go up with thermonuclear fire, and they're hoping they could still keep on to their rulership, destroy America, and then just start all over. It's because their business will be somewhere else. Because they was planning on having the Great Reset in America anyway. So that's what it is. So call all you Yahweh Bashem Yahushai Bashem Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who were well. Salutations to the Akim and the four winds, preaching in truth and sincerity, risking their lives more now than ever. The hopeful elect, the elect. Shalom to you Israelite foreigners who phenotype may look like another nation, but bloodline goes back to Israel and have come back to the fold. Shalom to you sisters, you Akwathium, who listen and learn under your husband, which is your spiritual leader, with meekness and with silence. Shalom. Hey, a Baba Ball.